The notes for Genesis 19 are Chul and Lee Degusha for verse 2. For verse 4 we have Kumts Basku Lurwa or Lucha. Little smudged letters, so I can't quite tell. For verse 8 we have Sibirin Hala. For verse 14 we have Tsi Degusha. For verse 18 we have Kudj. For verse 19 we have Patach Basip. For verse 21 we have Patach Basip. For verse 25 we have Sibirin Hala. For verse 33 we have Samatzin Hahwa. Some of that's missing, so and the same Naqud Al. And nothing in the margin this time. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And again, that term. Community leader. Aduni. In the older text, you always see it as a 5-letter thing. I mean, for centuries, you don't see it as 4 letters. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay out, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people, from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And the Lot story, the Quran, for example, doesn't have this idea that any prophet handed over people to be abused or sanctioned the evil of people. Said, I have daughters that are available for marriage, and you want to do this instead? Is the Quranic approach, right? And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand, and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides, son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of God as noun and verb, and God as noun and verb hath sent us to destroy it. Okay, because they want to make clear here, they're using Yahweh as the term to make clear that they're working for God, and clear that it's these beings that are appearing aren't the same thing as God. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for God as noun and verb will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife, and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters. God is noun and verb, being merciful unto him, and they brought forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, and look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, except escaping to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And God as noun and verb said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil overtake me, and I die. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? It's the parentheses because all the versions don't have that. You have Rubiai in the margin there. Did I miss that? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen up upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. And we say Tzwaer would be a transliteration, so it's not the Zohar, The sun was risen upon the earth and Lot entered into Zoar. Then God as noun and verb rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from God as noun and verb out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities which, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Now, a lot of this is, you can say, volcanic activity, gas packets and stuff like this. Stuff like that happens, so that it couldn't have happened. It's like, well, what's all the stuff that they found in their overturned buildings and sulfur chunks that buried things, and And Abraham sat up. He got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before God is noun and verb. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in after us, after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, that the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow, that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father, let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Well, there's more to the technique than that, but, it's not fitting to claim of a prophet that, that he would take drugs, but if perhaps made them, I don't think that's the implication there, that he was forced with any of this. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with the child by their father. Well, if they lived amongst a bunch of rapists, perhaps they became stuffed themselves now. People who hand people the drink and things happen because they've been drinking. That's, there's some fault there. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with the child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. We bow Shani Hum Lakim Sudma Barb Wiluth Yeshub Bashar Sudam Wira Luth Weekam Luk Ratum We Shitchu Apim Arza We Amr Hena Na Adne Suru Na Al Beit Abdicum Wolyanu Wurtsu Reglicum Wa Shukmatum Wa Luktum Lud Rukum We Amru La Ki Berchub Nalin Witzer Bamad Wisru Aliu We Bow Al Bitu We Ash Laham Mashta Wamtsut Pa We Aklu Thurm Ishkubu Wanshi Hagyur Anshi Sudam Nasbu Al Habit Mana Wad Zakkan Kul Ham Maktza We Crow Al Luth We Amru Lu Iyah Hanshim Asher Bao Alik Halila Hutsyam Alinu Wun Dah Atum Witza Alham Ruth Heptacha Wah Dult Sagur Atriu Yammer Al Na Achi Turau Hena Na Li Shati Banut Asher La Yedau Aish Outsya Na Athan Alikum Washu Lahan Kathub Bayan Yakum Rak Lanshim Hal Al Tashu Deburki Alkan Bau Butzel Erti We Amru Gesh Hala We Amru Hatchad Ba Lagur Wishpath Shaputh Ata Nara Luk Maham Witsru Beish Buluth Mada Wigshu Lashper Headlet Wishletchu Hanshim at Yidam Webiyaw at Luth Alihim Habita Wat Hadlet Sagru Wat Hanshim Asher Patach Habit Haku Besnurim Makthan Wan Gadul Wilau Lamtsa Haptach We Amru Hanshim Al Luth Armi Lak Pa Chath Wabnik Wabnatik Wakal Asher Luk Bayer Chutza Man Hamkum Ki Mashchathim Anchanu at Hamkum Hasa Ki Gadla Tsaktam at Pani Yahweh Wish Lechnu Yahweh Lashchata Witza Luth Widbar Al Chathnu Lakchi Man Q Wiamer Kumu Tsan Man Hemkum Hasa Ki Mashchit Yahweh at Higher Wihi Kamsachuk Bayani Hetmu Wakmu Hashchur Allah We Eitsu Hamlakim Baluth Lamrakum Ketch at Ashtuk Wat Shati Buntik Hen Matzat Pun Tuspa Baun Higher Wheat Mahma Wich Ziku Hanshim Bidu Wabid Ashtu Wabid Shati Buntu Butchleth Yahweh Aliu Witzahu Winchahu Machuts Liar Wihi Kehutsyam Atom Hachutza We Amr Hamleth Al Napshuk Al Tabith Atrik Wal Talmud Buckle Heker Hehra Hamleth Pun Tuspa We Amr Luth Alham Alna Adni Hanahna Matza Abdak Han Bayanik Wat Gadol Hasdak Asher Ashit Amdi La Hetch Youth Lahetchut. Gotta pronounce it in Armenia because that's a cross mark in that in its older script. At Nupshi Watki la Aukal la Hamlath Hehra Pan Tid Bukni Rah Wumti Hana na Hayur Hazat Gerba Lanus Shema Wahwa Matzar Al Am Latha na Shema Hala Matzar Wa Watchi Napshi the Amr Aliu Hena Nashati Panik Gum Ledbur Heza Lebleti Hepki at Hager Asher Debrut Mahr Hamleth Shemaki la Aukal Lashut Debur ad Bak Shema Alkin Kra Shem Hayer Tsuar Hashmish Yitza al Hartz Waluth Ba Tsara Wehia Wihwa Hamthir al Sudum Wal Amrah Baprit Wash Mat Yahweh Mun Hachmim We Hapak at Harim Hal Wat Kol Heker Wat Kol Ishbi Harim What's much Hatma What Bath Ashtu What Shrew What He Natsib Mulch Wishkam Abraham Bemker Al Hamkum Asher Amd Shem at Pani Yahweh Wishkap Al Pani Saddam Wamra Wal Kol Pani Arts Hacker Wira Wahna Allah Kether Hearts Kadether Hakbasham Wihi Pashchut Arahim at Ari Hacker Witzker Alahim at Abraham Wishlich at Luth Matuk Paka Bahpuk at Harim Asher Ishib Bachan Luth We Al Luth Matswar Wishib Bachar Washti Bantu Amuki Yura Leshba Batswar Wishib Bamara Wa Washti Bantu Watamar Hepkira Al Hatzayira Abinu Sakan Wish Ein Bartz Lebois Al Gnu Kedruk Kol Hartz Laka Nishka at Abinu Yin one shuk one shukba Amu one cha Habinu Sra what shukin at Abihan Yin Blila Huwa Watba Hab Kira Wat Shukab at Abya Wallah Yada Bashkaba Wat Kuma Wihi Mem Shirt Wat Amr Hab Kira Al Hatz Ar Yura Hatz Yura Hen Shukpati Amsh at Abi Nashkanu Yin Thum Halilah Waba Shukbi Amu One Cha Mabinu Sra Wat Shukin Gum Balila Hahwa at Abiham Yin Wat Qam Hatz Ayura Wat Shukab Amu Wallah Yada Bash Kaba Wab Qama Wat Harin Shati Banut Luth Habihan Wat Ud Habkira Ban Watkra Shamu Muwab Huwa Abi Muwab Ad Hyum Wa Sayura Gamhua Yilda Ben Watkra Shamu Ben Ami Huwa Abi Bani Amun Ad Hyum. And I'm not that word Tsar. It's not letting me close the video. So I'm looking up here the word here. There's not too many TZ starting words. And so we have come on. Okay, so that root, adhere or cleave. So it's basically a place that they relied on. So the Zohar